Hello there, this is Diamond from Diamond Shine Soap. Guys, I'm happy to see you today. Today we are going to be making some solid dish soap. Now, before we get into the dish soap, I want to let you know the recipe will be found in the Patreon. Now, I have no idea as to why you have not joined the Patreon. The Patreon is so powerful. Listen, I give you guys candle making recipes, meaning that if you trying to launch a candle business and you need to really have that thing done in 2 weeks, that Patreon will give you what you need to succeed. There are recipes, there's wick training in there, fragrance load, wick sizes for every candle. If you want to launch a wax melt business, super strong wax melts that'll light your whole house up. I'm talking about skincare. There's so much there. Don't miss out. Don't delay. Go ahead and get in there right now. Do not delay in the description box. All right, guys, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the up and coming videos on this channel. All right. So I am adding coconut oil to this bowl. Coconut oil in a solid dish soap recipe is everything. Okay. Coconut oil will give you the cleansing. It will strip it of its grease. And also it will give you the bubbles. That's like the most important part. You definitely need a nice lather. So coconut oil will give that to you. So I did do one more thing with this recipe, and that was, aside from the coconut oil, I did add a little bit of a carrier oil to it, because coconut oil is very drying. It is very drying. So you cannot use this bar in the shower. Do not use these bars in the shower. Do not sell them as a soap, a body soap. This is strictly for cleaning. They are very harsh to the skin. So I did add a little bit of olive oil, which you will see me pouring in there now. And that's just so it won't be too bad on the skin. So if I get it on my hands when I'm doing the dishes, it won't be so drying. All right. And the next thing you want to add to this recipe is some castor oil. The castor oil is pretty much, it's just how you increase the bubbles. Castor oil is very good. You don't use a whole lot because it will make a sticky soap, but you just use just enough so you can increase the lather, okay? Because the lather is everything for a solid dish soap, okay? All right, so after we finish adding that, listen, we will not be using any mica powders or anything like that. We will be using silicone molds. These silicone molds can be found on Amazon. They are round. And what I do love about these molds is I can use a muslin bag, whatever it is, and they fit, perfectly, almost perfectly inside that bag. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start my lye water solution. This is a cold process recipe. So I'm pouring my water into here. And the next thing you're going to see me do is I am going to begin to pour my lye into here. So this is where I buy my lye from. I'm not promoting this company, but this is just where I have a lot of lye. And this is where it came from. Now, you can buy lye from Walmart. They do sell it in Walmart. And it's only like $5 and something cents. But if you keep going there buying that, it can get pretty pricey. So I recommend you buy your lye from a company where you can buy it in bulk. And so you can save some money by doing it that way. And Amazon used to be pretty cheap with lye a long time ago, believe it or not, before the pandemic, but they went up a lot. I used to get like a huge bucket. Now that huge bucket is like almost double the price. So I do have a spot where I recommend you guys buying lye from. And I will leave that in the Patreon. Actually, if you pull up lye, if you in the Patreon, if you just pull up lye, it will be a vendor that come up, and his is like, if you buy a certain amount, you get free lye. Okay, so I got vendors for days. I need to make a vendor list. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just mix that all together, and you're gonna leave it sitting on the side. Just make sure you stir it thoroughly, and make sure you wear a mask, you have a glove, and make sure you have a long sleeve shirt on, wear some goggles, protect your eyes, because lye is caustic and is very dangerous. You can end up with burns on your skin, and those burns can really be severe. So if you spilt lye or something like that, you guys want to make sure that, you have some water handy. A lot of people will tell you to use apple cider vinegar. I beg to differ. I did have a couple issues, instances sometimes where I spilled lye and, I use water. So I'm adding sugar to my lye. You could use a tablespoon of sugar. And so only thing that's do is increase the bubbles. All right. And I try to do that with all of my soaps now because it does increase the lather. You will see the difference. All right. So you want to stir that in. And after you do that, the next thing I'm going to be adding to this lye is some sodium lactate. And the sodium lactate is to harden the bar because, listen, you want to make sure you have a hard bar because people are going to be like using this quite often. It's going to be wet a lot, not like normal when you take a shower, you use that bar soap once, maybe twice a day. No, you'll be using this. They'll be using this a whole lot. So you want it to be very hard. All right. So let's go ahead and put that sodium lactate in this water. And then after we do that, we're going to move into the next phase. So I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of that sodium lactate. All right. Now just stir it in. That's what I wanted to tell you. Make sure you stir it all in. That's the most important part. Make sure everything is fully dissolved. Your lye water should be clear when you are finished, okay? So now when it comes down to the temperatures, you want to make sure that your temperature of your oils. I want to tell you guys, I had to add stearic acid to this because that made it harder as well. Okay, so you want to make sure that your lye is about 100 degrees and that your oils is about 100. And that's when you can start blending and doing all of the fantastic soaping things. All right. So this is going to trace pretty quick because it's coconut oil. Coconut oil don't waste nobody's time. So you want to just hit it with the stick blender just a little bit. Don't do too much because it will thicken up on you and you'll end up pouring it like it's some pudding. So I just put some lemon essential oils. Lemon is pretty good for cleaning. If you guys know anything about lemon and orange, they are powerful cleaners and degreasers because it's citrus. Yeah, citrus is really good for cleaning. I actually made my first cleaner in a Patreon with lemon. All right. So you just mix that just a little bit, then turn off the motor and do it by hand. And just bring it to a light trace. All right. And now you want to go ahead and get your molds ready because now you want to start pouring into the mold. So I'm just going to transfer it back to this bowl, this little Dollar Tree bowl, because it has a pour spout on it. And I want to make sure that it's pretty neat when I'm pouring everything. All right. Okay, so you just want to go ahead and start pouring into the mold right away. This is one of those recipes where you cannot delay because it will really get thick on you pretty quick because it's coconut oil soap. So the best thing to do with like this recipe, if you're using, let's say, a loaf mold, because I do know a lot of people that want to make them in like the bar shape because they feel like, that's better. So if that is you, you want to make sure that you cut it pretty quick. The moment is solidified and it's solidified in the middle, you want to go ahead and cut it because if you wait too long, it will be too hard to cut or it will crumble and fall apart. So either way around, you'll mess yourself up by waiting, okay? So when it came down to these bars, I kept it natural as possible. I used essential oils instead of fragrance because of the properties that lemon have. And I told you guys that, but you can use fragrance without a problem, okay? It will not mess the bars up. It actually will probably enhance them. If you want to use peppermint, eucalyptus fragrance and stuff like that, that's completely fine, okay? All right, the next thing I want to tell you guys is when it come down to my packaging, I ended up going with like some muslin bags, though, and I stamped those bags, and that is how I'm going to ship them out. These bars came out pretty good. They came out pretty good. When I sell them, like I said, I'm going to sell them in like a 2-pack, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how they came out in this next scene.